We have Infinite Ammo Syndicate back with us again for a new discussion, and they brought some friends. We have Cryo Gaming, Lady Tolkien, Renegade Operative, and Sir Brandel. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I am public enemy number one, so you know how it is. Let's get into it.
Yes, so today we are talking about our favorite console from the big three. We'll go in alphabetical order. We'll do Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox. And we'll see if everyone has the same favorite consoles or if someone stirs the pot and says something really controversial. So let's start with Nintendo. Furry, do you want to kick it off and start with your favorite Nintendo console?
Sure. I guess I'll go with the Game Boy Advance.
And why'd you pick this one?
Because it was the thing that we could smuggle into school.
That's funny. I like your reasoning for that. Did you have like any games that you would secretly play during school?
Oh yeah, we were all on Pokemon. Everyone was playing Pokemon.
Did you have a favorite one from this time?
I mean, Ruby and Sapphire were probably the main two, but I preferred like Silver and Gold, but they were like Game Boy Color ones.
All right. I didn't own the Game Boy Advance. I had a Game Boy Color. But did anyone else choose this console for their favorite Nintendo?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay. So what do you got to add on to that?
Well, I picked it mostly because it was the first game system that got me into gaming. My parents were pretty strict and didn't really like the idea of gaming for whatever reason. So my godfather bought me my Game Boy Advance when I was like 9 or 10. And that's what got me into it. And I really loved it and played it constantly. Enjoyed Pokemon as well. But me and my brother also played Super Mario on it. So I've got fond memories of that console. I still have it as well.
Is it working?
It does.
Ooh, that's nice.
Which one did you have though?
Mine was the older, not the flip ones, like the SP or whatever it was. I had the older, like horizontal ones. Mine was like pink. You could see through it and everything.
Yeah, you had the purple one.
Yes.
Oh my god, you're so fancy.
I actually had the SP. I did not have the Game Boy Advance though. I was like, ooh, it flips.
I had the flip.
Yep, I have one of those too. They're great.
Furry, do you still have yours?
Oh, I do.
Does yours work?
It does.
Oh. Do you still use it, or is it just collecting dust?
Yeah, it's collecting dust with my Sega and all sorts. So
Furry is a bit of a collector.
Oh yes.
Did anyone else have the Game Boy Advance as their favorite console, or does someone else want to share one of theirs?
It was honestly number 2 for me. But whatever.
Yeah. I had one, but it wasn't mine. I used it because it was my brother's, and he used to play a lot of Fire Pro Wrestling on it, which is why I played it so much. Also, you know, the Mario games, Advance Wars, like everything that was practically his is something that I played on it. So it was a pretty good time playing that console.
Yeah, I'm the same experience with you, Ren. Mine's a second-hand experience. I never owned one, but I always play with my friends or my cousins. And the game that I mainly would be playing on is Sonic Advance 2, I believe. Aside from that, I play a lot of Golden Sun.
I just remember playing Scooby-Doo a lot on it, and Max Payne.
I very vaguely remember a Scooby-Doo game.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
I don't even know, but I just kind of remember it. So which one are you talking about, Cryo Gaming?
A lot. There's too many to list.
Yes.
You got Mystery Mayhem. You got the game based on the first movie, the game based on the second movie, Cyber Chase. Crap. I know there was one more, I think, but I played the crap out of those like a lot.
Bring it back. Bring back Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
So, Cryo Gaming, what was your favorite Nintendo console?
Okay, this is probably going to get everyone to raise their eyebrows at me. it's a toss up between the NES and the SNES.
Okay. So why were these your favorite?
Because not to throw shade at, you know, the GameCube or, you know, their Switch, it actually pushed the console to its like limits. Even at the beginning, the games really pushed the console to its like limits. There was a lot of companies that pushed it. I know one company was popular at the time, Sunsoft, I believe their name was. They did Batman the video game. They did a Superman video game later down the line, and honestly, I just like the NES and the SNES because those two were like the um, early forms of console where, you know, companies actually like really pushed the system to its limits at an early start, which was
Gotta show
unheard of at the
respects to
time.
your elders.
Pretty much, because I mean, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but without the NES's arrival in North America, gaming wouldn't be so prevalent as it is now.
Facts. Does anyone else want to share their love for the SNES?
Yeah, I would say the SNES is probably my favorite Nintendo console. Just have a different answer because it would be GameCube, but that's honestly an easy one. Mainly
I'm going to be picking
because-
the GameCube, so.
Mainly though, because it has a lot of my favorite games on it, bar none from the Nintendo platform, but it's mainly third party. But though, Super Metroid, still probably one of the best Metroid games out there. Love that game. They got Super Castlevania 4, and they got Mega Man X Trilogy, just name a few. Like, that system just has some of the best games on there.
Oh, especially beat 'em ups by Konami.
Mm-hmm.
Like Batman Returns. Oh my god, I actually loved playing that on
Yeah, the good one.
SNES. Yeah, the NES version wasn't actually too bad either. I actually did not mind that because it was also a beat 'em up by Konami.
When they actually made games.
Yeah.
Pour one out.
Now they're making like free to play football games or something.
Oh, God, that was a disaster.
Furry knows all about that disaster.
Oh no.
So,
Oh, no.
oh no. So since we kind of alluded to the GameCube, I'm going to jump in and say the GameCube is my favorite Nintendo console. I loved it. This was the first, I had the Nintendo 64, but this was the first console that I asked for as a kid. And I just had so many fond memories with inviting friends over to play all the Mario parties.
I just remember the GameCube.
Shied away from.
I just remember the GameCube primarily because of Resident Evil 1 Remake. This is why I got one in the first place. And if I were to pick an answer on that, I would agree with you and say GameCube. That is the console that had the best Nintendo controller, in my opinion. Definitely a step up from the alien warlord spaceship that was the N64. It was a swell time, like overall. Just all the games on there, Smash, you know, played a lot of Smash. A ton of that. Twin Snakes for Metal Gear, that was fun. And RE1 Remake, that was another one. Also, some of the Zelda games like Twilight Princess, phenomenal, you know. So it was an overall good time, and the killer apps was just coming like back and forth with third party and first.
Yes.
Honestly, when I think of GameCube, I think instantly of Smash.
Yeah, well, primarily like everyone does, because that's when the series started to get its peak and footing, and everyone loves Smash, so you know.
The
Yeah,
Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yes, yes.
You see, I think we're all missing out Donkey Konga there, where you got the little drums.
Conga.
Yes!
I forgot about that peripheral.
Yeah, it's honestly just a shame that it was released during the time frame that it was.
What do you mean by that?
Because wasn't it sandwiched between the PS2
Uh,
and something else?
I
Or am I
forget.
thinking? Or am I
I f-
thinking something else?
I
I
definitely
for-
own those two at the same time.
Yeah, I forget, but I'm certainly positive the real meaning behind that is that it got overshadowed by PS2, which
Yeah, that's
yeah,
because it also had. I think it had um more games as well.
Yeah, I
I
think the
don't know if
PS2
that.
come out a year before.
Oh, okay.
I'm not entirely for sure, and I don't know if it was the variety of games and the cost difference between the both of them, but I know that really did hurt GameCube a lot,
Not in my
unfortunately.
house. We love the GameCube. I had
See-
the no, it was the Mario Dance Dance Revolution, and you plugged in the mat. So unsafe. You really gotta put something down on that, or you're slipping and sliding and breaking something. Like,
I mean,
bring it back.
these are the same. This is the same company that had uh the Wii stick and or the Wii remote, and I
People
mean,
were
were
putting them
playing
through the
dude,
TV.
for the
yes, I
TVs, yeah.
remember. Yeah, even though I think they had like a grip too, they actually had like the proper grip on it. Apparently, there was a news report that it slipped out of the person's hand and it just launched into the TV, and there was like footage of that, and I'm like, how?
People don't put on those wristbands.
I think that's the thing. I think they I think they did have the wristband, but it snapped off.
Gaming has come a long way, but has it though? Because there's a subreddit called VR to ER, which is hilarious. So, did anyone want to show any love to another Nintendo console, or I'm not sure if everyone's named their favorite?
Oh yes, another one. The Virtual Boy, man. That 3D, the black and red. Ah, yes, the best.
He's taking the
console ever
piss. Taking the piss.
No, it's true, man. You know it's true, right?
No, I don't believe that.
I saw you play on it last week, man. You know it's true.
No.
Yeah.
I would destroy it on site with a baseball bat and my groin.
If it was more affordable and had more games and variety, it would have actually done better.
I like how
But
someone
it was half-ass launched.
Yeah, I like how someone retrofitted the Virtual Boy to not have that eye blinding red, and they made the games playable like later on. That was fun because no one likes being blinded by a complete red like Cyclops from X-Men. So I'm kind of glad that the modders did that. That was a nice job on them.
Shout out to the modders saving gaming around the world.
Mhm.
All right, let's do PlayStation. Who wants to kick off the PlayStation discussion?
I can do it quick.
Okay.
Honestly, I want to say this is going to be the obvious one here, but the PlayStation 2, which also a little bit of a tie with the first PlayStation, because like I said before with the NES and SNES, Sony and the companies that made games for specifically the PlayStation and the PlayStation 2 really took the time to try to perfectly craft at the time games that would actually work really well, very properly with like the game's systems, its integrity, etc. So honestly, I have to give PlayStation 2 for that, because um this it those companies really did push the PlayStation 2 at least to like its absolute limit, to where some games were actually a bit difficult to run on original hardware because
Which games?
they really pushed it. I can't think of I know there's one off the top of my head right now, but I can't remember the name. but there was one popular game where it could not be ran properly on PS2 hardware because they put so much into it. They like crammed a lot in it, trying to take advantage of the PS2's hardware.
I have a feeling the PS2 is a popular choice in this group. Does anyone want to add on to it?
I'll say that was my pick as well. It's the
All
PS2.
right, Lady Tolkien, what do you got to add on to the PS2?
Well, really, the only reason I picked that one is because it's one of the few PlayStation consoles I've actually played because I don't play on Sony. So, my brother had a PlayStation 2, and we played a lot on there, especially like the Simpsons Hit and Run, and they have another one. I can't think of what it's called offhand. And we used to play the crap out of those games. It was fun, but that was really the only PlayStation I think I've ever played, besides maybe barely playing on like the new one. My sister has the new one, but other than that, it's the only one I've played.
Yeah, my Xbox One's going to be a default because I've only owned one Xbox console.
Yeah, basically both of your Xbox babies.
Oh, piss off.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, just don't like Sony. Not a fan. So
See, there you go. Bet you like
Hey.
PS2.
okay, I just happen to have one. Okay.
Uh-huh.
PS2 is way too easy. I know it definitely pushed the killer apps, but my answer is different. But I will say I did enjoy my time with it, like GTA San Andreas, Manhunt, a lot of other games like
Bully.
RPGs. Bully was cool. Let me look at my closet. Punisher, I see that up there.
Oh God, yes, the Punisher.
Second Sight, which is super obscure. It's like you're a guy with powers and you could throw someone down the stairs. That was cool. Yeah, it's a lot to choose from. Hulk, a lot of classics. Tenchu, Wrath of Heaven, Driver. Well, not Driver 3 because that game was pretty trash. Virtual Fighter 4. Just a lot going on with the PS2.
So what is your pick if it's not the PS2?
I would say the PS1 actually. I think that is when 3D gaming was definitely taken a lot more serious. That was when everyone was looking all eyes on Sony and they were relatively new and they came in and blew the Sega Saturn away by saying their price point of $299, and the entire industry just quaked saying, "Oh crap, affordable console with cutting edge games at an affordable amount." So it was unprecedented back then, and also this was the start of a lot of big franchises: Resident Evil, Metal Gear, a lot of cool Mega Man titles that they used to do that was like cutting edge for that series back in the day. So it was almost, like I said, unprecedented and just well received. This was where a lot of the homegrown Sony IPs started to get legs, and I really enjoyed it back then.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot too. That was also a good one.
I just remember primarily Tomb Raider for PS1 because that was one of the first few games to actually do what Tomb Raider actually managed to accomplish.
Oh yeah.
I never played the older Tomb Raider games. I hopped in later at the reboot, remake, whatever you want to call them. But I have seen clips of. Who's the name of the servant that you can lock into the fridge?
What was his name? I'm gonna say something. Winston.
Yeah, I think that was.
Yes.
Winston.
Yeah.
Little rattly man. Lock him in the freezer.
That was so funny.
Yeah, he's still alive in there too to this day.
Yeah. Yeah, just lock him in there and save the game, and he's a prisoner forever.
I don't get paid well enough for this, Miss Croft.
I love the Tomb Raider games. I haven't played the old ones, but I would maybe one day.
You should
go for it.
I had a toss up between the two that I wanted to pick for PlayStation, and my favorite handheld of all time was the PSP. and I feel like they tried to keep it going with the Vita, but that it really flopped. They just kind of forgot about it. It's still a weird flop for me, but I really liked the PSP. But I am a huge fan of the PS5. I just think it's so cool. Like, I don't think a lot of people really care for the haptics for the controller, but I just think it's such a cool feature to add to gaming. So I know it's like a really like newish pick and all that, but honestly, I think by the end of this generation, I'm gonna really, really love the PS5. So I don't know if anyone wants to shoot down the PS5. I don't know if anyone owns the PS5, but I love
I
it.
have
I'm
the
over.
PS5.
It's shaping up to be a really good console, though. It's just, I think they, including Microsoft as well, released their consoles a little too early. They should have released them like a year later, honestly.
Both of them.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
PS5 and Series X. They should have just released them a year later from the original release date.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like features and things like that, I really do like the haptic feedback on the triggers because that means I don't have to like pull down the trigger like
I just
too
think
hard just to like if I'm aiming, I don't know, let's say I'm playing Call of Duty or something, or no, I don't think Tomb Raider has that.
no.
Like there's another game. Oh, right. Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah.
I don't have to like use my entire like strength just to like pull down the trigger. I could just like lightly do it and it'll go like, okay, just do it like this. And it just feels like I'm actually doing the action myself per se.
I think the coolest game that has the haptics for the PS5 is Returnal. I like that you could feel it raining like on the controller. I think that every gun feels differently, and I just can't wait to see like later on this generation what people are gonna do with it. I just think it's really, really cool.
That's right. Also, I almost forgot too. Marvel Spider-Man Remastered.
Does that
'Cause
have the haptics?
I think it does. And Miles Morales, because when I'm swinging, it doesn't feel like I'm pushing down the R2 button hard.
Yeah, all Sonic games have had the feedback enabled. Like Spider-Man 1 is for web swinging.
Yeah, I really love it because especially when you're going through the the air and you're air diving, like oh my god, you just feel the control like vibrating as you're holding on the R2 button. It's just amazing. I like the feeling.
Yeah, that game is really pretty, and I loved when it came out that people that lived in New York City went around and they're like, I live over here. Like, this is my building. I thought that was so cool. Did
I
everyone
do that?
What?
I want to make a quick note though for the haptics though. Like, it's cool, but it's not suitable for all games, especially when I have like gorilla grip on myself. So I don't like the idea of having the triggers fighting against me when I'm trying to literally hold down.
Yeah,
It goes against my instincts.
Yeah, I think you either really like it or you hate it and you turn it off.
Yeah, I think it's a player by player experience.
In my
Yeah,
case,
absolutely.
it's a game because not all games I think benefit from the haptics, especially with that maximum settings. I usually have it to medium settings.
Oh yeah, it could be game by game. I love it. I'm just like vibrate and try to like walk through like all the water and the different terrains just to see if it feels different. Did everyone say their favorite PlayStation console, or I want to make sure we got to everyone? Okay.
Yeah,
What do you got, Sir Randall?
It would be the outlier here. It would have been the PS2, but like everyone says, it's an easy answer. For me, it would actually be the PlayStation 3 as one of my favorites. Because it was my second console for starters, so my first online one. But the main factor behind it is the social side of things. Because my friend of 12 years, he pretty much convinced me to get a PS3. When I was at his place one night and I asked him which one should I get between 360 or PS3. Now he's mainly an Xbox guy, but he even suggested that I should get a PS3. So like that was a little surprising for me. So aside from that though, the games I play on it though was actually like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and the later ones because that was my Call of Duty. I didn't grow up with Call of Duty, but I just played the AC games online like every day after school.
It's funny that's your favorite because that is Furry's most hated console of all time.
Guys,
It is. I can't.
Tell him why.
yeah, tell me.
I decided to make the jump to PlayStation 3 at the worst time, clearly, because that's when the servers went down for like that 6 to 9 month period.
Oh, don't get me started on that one because
Yeah.
we have copies of MK9 and we couldn't redeem the freaking code.
So I bought it, I set it up, I managed to play it for 2 days, and then this happened, and I was like, you know what, screw this, I'm getting rid of it.
Yeah, that is a bad time to get into it though, but I can't hold against the system for that. That was just unfortunate time of events.
The thing that killed SOCOM 4, that was amazing. And then I remember when it was down for a longer period of time, they had to give people free games to compensate because everyone was freaking out.
Are you
Yes.
I got Infamous and a little bit blinded from that from those free games.
Oh yeah, it was a good thing, but it was also very, very bad at the same time.
It was
Well,
very
okay.
bizarre.
This was when people were debating that Xbox had better online, and I can see why, because well, they weren't like down like that. But now it's ironic because
just-
Yeah, very ironic.
Well, I just got PTSD, Vietnam War flashbacks when the PlayStation servers were down, the Xbox servers were down. Lizard Squad said that they did it, and over Christmas, millions of players could not play their games. Like, I couldn't hear little squeakers yelling at me, cursing me out when I killed them in Call of Duty. I cried on the inside.
I had a PS3 at the time, but I never played really like online games, so I was fine.
I just remember like reading into it, and I just remember a lot of I know the people that were behind it, they said that it took longer to go into Sony's network than it did Microsoft's network. That Microsoft didn't learn from the last time they had attacked. And that Sony
Hacker's
has
gonna
kept
hack.
it up. Apparently that I guess they wanted to be like, oh, we're not doing anything malicious. We're
We're
white
helping.
white hat hackers.
I think the problem was when after all of that settled, Sony tried to charge for online protection for like $50, and nobody liked
God.
it.
Don't get me started on that. I'm like, bruh, no. Stop it.
I think the weirdest thing ever was everyone just being okay with paying to play online for consoles. Like, why did we do this as a society?
Oh, you blame Microsoft?
Blame Xbox.
Yeah.
Blame Microsoft.
Yeah, because once, for example, Sony saw how it was profitable for Microsoft, they're like, hey, let's do it as well.
I hated that. I was like, why? Why do we have to charge to talk to people? Come on.
Hey,
We charged for minutes back in the day, so.
That's true.
Oh god.
Also, at least it goes into the infrastructure and making it a little bit better. I would say after PS3, PS4, and PS5 got a little bit better with handling that.
Yeah, for sure. Did we get to everyone for the PlayStation console? Did everyone go?
I believe so.
I think so, yeah.
All right. Let's round it out with Xbox. I'll just say right off the bat, I owned one Xbox console. It was the Xbox 360. That's the only one I owned. So by default, that's my favorite. I played Viva Pinata, and I played GTA 4 on this console. And honestly, that's my favorite GTA game. Really liked Liberty City. So I'll throw to the rest of you to discuss Xbox more knowledgeably.
Truth be told, I never really played Xbox like that, but I did play a little bit on the Xbox 360, and um, for what it was, I actually did like the Xbox 360. I think the game I was playing, well, obviously, um, was Modern Warfare 2, and it was fun, though I kept getting hung up because I was so used to the PS3 controller. So I'm like, uh, uh, thumbs, fingers. Well, what are we doing here? Work with me here.
Yeah.
Because muscle memory, and I end up pushing a button that I'm not supposed to. I'm like, oh, oops.
Favorite Xbox? All right, but full disclosure, I never own an Xbox, unfortunately, but I do want to own one though. But I played on every single one of them for enough period of time because I went to family, to friends, yeah. So I do have enough experience to judge which one would be my favorite. And personally, I would say it would be the original Xbox, just for the library alone. But there's a lot of games on there that's still on the original Xbox, ironically enough, and still being played today, even on backwards compatibility. Just the sheer library, like, and new franchises that start on there, I'll say the original Xbox, just for games alone. For features,
What games did you play?
Dead or Alive 3, Ninja Gaiden Black. This one weird Star Wars game, I don't remember what it's called, so I can't tell you what that was, though. Splinter Cell. Just literally to name a few. I play a lot on the original Xbox.
You got a sampling, and that's your favorite.
Sample again, that's my favorite. I'll say DOA 3 because that was my first DOA game.
Okay. Lady Tolkien, you're an Xbox girl?
Well, it just happened to be that's.
Yes.
Oh, hush you!
Yes, sure.
It just happens to be what I liked. I preferred it over PlayStation, mostly because of the two, Xbox was the one I played first, but the controller on an Xbox, to me, with the way my hands are, just feels so much better than a PlayStation. I hate the PlayStation controllers. I hate them.
Yeah, I will actually agree, because my big issue with the PS3 was how fucking small the controller was. And the words of Will Smith, I feel like I'm gonna break this damn thing.
It wasn't even like the size. It was more like the way the buttons are set up, and it was just naturally, for me, better to play on an Xbox controller than a PlayStation. The closest PlayStation controller I actually liked is the PlayStation 5. That's about it. The rest of them, I hated.
Yeah,
the 4 as well.
Hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some weird hands.
No.
Yeah,
They just
yeah.
PlayStation just makes some jank ass controller setup, is what it is.
Donkey Kong hands over there?
Excuse me, Ren.
Donkey Kong hands, King Kong. Like,
I do not.
You're not the only one that has said that. A lot of people say that the Xbox controllers are better, like size wise, but
exactly.
It's funny because I prefer PlayStation, and then when I play on Xbox, I'm like, this is so small.
I gotta still, like, which controller do you guys prefer in the Xbox family? Because I personally still prefer the 360 one. Just the D-pad is complete garbage.
The newest one.
Xbox One. It's all the accommodations of like the 360 controller, but they have the fixed D-pad.
Things I don't like the triggers or the bumpers for it though. I feel like they're a little too sizable.
I mean, that's true, but I'm just glad that when I play fighting games on that thing, I don't feel like I'm slipping off each and every single time.
I still felt that way, man. I cannot play Tekken on an Xbox controller. It just feels foreign. Like every controller or none.
Just muscle memory talking.
This is probably gonna like make people's head tilt, but honestly, when I don't think I could actually necessarily differentiate the difference between each Xbox controller like I could a PlayStation controller, because physically it looks the same.
Kind of the same, yeah.
Every generation, other than like fixing D-pads, the trigger springs, and all that.
Same. It's the same.
In fairness, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type scenario here.
Yeah,
I was waiting for someone to say that.
Yep, I agree.
True, but like, I don't know.
Let's not do controller, man. We can all agree with that one.
Yeah, the Duke is just supersized, but yeah, it's. I can see where people are coming from with that. It's if it's not broke, don't fix it, but then add on to it, and it's the minute details that you will notice, like 360. Yeah, the D-pad, the PlayStation with the share button, and the big button in the front for the PS4. It's all there, but they either will get better or worse with time.
Or with the PS5 actually straight up looking like a gamepad.
Yeah, that works, and the haptics and everything that they're adding. So they always try to add
This
something.
is a little heavier too.
Yeah,
The PS4 controller.
I don't mind a little bit of weight though. That's all. That's fine.
Yeah. I like a little bit of weight. I don't mind it. I like.
Oh,
it.
you're a fat runner, so that makes sense.
What?
Huh?
Excuse me, sir? Are you worried about the weight of another man? What?
Damn, you know how it is.
Shade.
He's weird.
Yes, I am.
We're all weird.
Oh, we get to the Xbox portion and people get a little feisty.
Because nobody cares about it. That's why. I'm just kidding.
I mean, the biggest Xbox fan here is obviously the cat.
Oh my god, here we go. Yeah,
I
see,
mean,
I never.
honestly, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Wait. It's who?
It's me.
Talking.
Okay. No, Furry is an Xbox guy too.
Oh, really?
Yes. He is.
You
Furry.
know, I mean, that's good. Like, I really do like Xbox. I do, but it is just I did not like the one that much, to be honest.
Oh.
It was well, it was just due to all their practices in the beginning with DRM and all that stuff, but it did gradually get better over time. I know because I had one, and the BC was nice. The backwards compatibility was so good.
Yeah.
Xbox definitely has that down pat.
The truth is, that's the only thing they had during the Xbox One generation. Because since all their games are now on PC, I just, that kind of deterred me from getting the Xbox One. But the Series X, though, I'm like, I'm gonna definitely get one because I do like the features they got going on there.
Yeah, I just don't like. As far as I know, the whole DRM thing on it. So if your internet goes out at any point, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah, that they gotta fix though, because we got in their ass about it last generation though. Like, I can give them credit for being ballsy to do it again though, but yeah, they gotta get rid of that.
Yeah, because otherwise, all it's useful for is a paperweight.
Oh.
Yeah, it's literally just walking e-waste at this point. Like, come on, just get rid of the DRM shit, and we're good to go.
True. Furry, what's your favorite Xbox?
I'll probably go 360.
Oh, with me, bestie. Oh, what are your legitimate reasons? Because mine weren't, actual.
It's what got me into online gaming, competitive gaming, like with the Gears of War series, me getting into my competitive FIFA. I remember like the launch of Lost Planet 2. I didn't go to bed for 2 days. I live streamed for 2 days straight with my mate.
That's funny.
So I'll probably give it for that.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were going to pick a more recent one. But I feel like you would say you're more of a PC gamer now, or would you still choose Xbox?
I'm probably more PC just because Game Pass. But if Game Pass wasn't a thing, I'd probably still just stick to my Xbox.
That's the furry facts. Did everyone say their favorite Xbox console? Because we got a little heated discussion, so I lost track.
Yeah, I was trying to, and then we got into the controllers, but I never got to say actually what mine was.
Oh, no,
Okay.
yeah. Brandon talking about looking like a lawn chair, and
What?
there's that. And,
And the store is approaching, so yeah, let's go.
I think I'm the only one that didn't go on Xbox.
Just interrupted me again.
Well, on, Kat. You gotta get off the Xbox bandwagon.
Well,
She hasn't gotten on it yet.
yeah, you keep,
Oh, I forgot she was here.
keep changing topic. Oh, get out of here.
I forgot she was here too. Like, who were you?
Oh my!
All right, go ahead. You go first.
Go away.
Mhm.
No, I was just gonna say, even though you shit on it, Xbox One is actually my favorite.
Oh man, yeah, that makes it worse.
Hey.
Okay, give her the floor. Give her the floor. Xbox One. Why?
I've owned most of them, and I do like the 360. That was probably my close second, but I just preferred the One just because of the backwards compatibility and just so many of the games I had. For the One, I spent so much time on that console, like Assassin's Creed and Gears of War, and just most of the majority of what I own is for the One. It just worked so well, and I liked the controller a lot until the newest one came out. So it was just overall had to be my favorite.
Thank you for sharing with the group.
Hey, Ren, now you can go.
Why'd you specifically calling on me? Oh,
Yeah,
Well, you thought you were the last one to go, so now you are.
that's true. She could have waited a little bit.
excuse me, I was asked first.
All right, so for my favorite console, I guess I'll go with the original Xbox. I think it was great. It was the most powerful console at the time, so that was very good. They really pushed the envelope on trying to introduce broadband gaming for the first time, so that changed the way we play with Xbox Live and everything. Like, a lot of people tend to take a big crap on Xbox, but when they came into the scene for the first time, the stuff they were doing was definitely something that was not detrimental to gaming in terms of moving forward. The first introduction of downloadable content came from that console as well. So, the developer said, hey, we have to do something extra. We want to put it into the game. You can just download it, no problem. That happened with Ninja Gaiden Black. So I really appreciated everything that it did, and also the games. Like I said, Ninja Gaiden Black. I really liked Halo, of course. That's a big one. And there were more games I have, like Splinter Cell. Freedom Fighters was on Xbox, but I think that was like cross-platform. Doom 3. Loved it and made me really want to get an Xbox by the time I first seen it in Blockbuster, which is making me sound like a dinosaur, but yes,
You are.
very good console, very very heavy too. So if you want to toss an Xbox at like the ground and cause a crater, then you probably could do that. It's just great all around. They definitely was the competitor that was seen as lesser tier, but they came in the market and killed it. So I like Xbox. I like the original.
Respect. Well, I think we got everyone, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up our top 3 console discussion. So, Infinite Ammo Syndicate, thank you for coming on today, this bright and early Sunday morning.
No problem.
Where can they find you guys? Plug your show.
So you can find us on YouTube at Infinite Ammo Syndicate. You can find us on Spotify, same name. If you want to see my individual content, then you can find me on YouTube at Renegade Operative, where I will be doing stuff from there. There was slander, lawn chairs, Tolkien getting puffy. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. Cryo Gaming, Lady Tolkien, Sir Brandel, anything that you want to plug before we head out?
Yeah, follow my Twitter at Paragon Operative. I'm just kidding. It's Immortal Brandel Twitter. I do have a link tree. I forgot to put it in my bio, but I'll do that if I remember to.
Nice.
My Twitter is Lady Tolkien 7, and then I also have a YouTube, but that is just under Lady Tolkien.
Delete it.
Hey.
Box.
Cryo Gaming, anything you want to add?
You can find me on Twitter and YouTube under Cryo Gaming.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on today, and I hope to talk to you all again in the future.
Thank you. It was fun.
Thank you.